The Huskies have enjoyed some serious home cooking, but they're about to hit the road for the first time. Also, the season's curve is about to get a whole lot steeper, but the coaches say don't overlook the Thunderbirds of Southern Utah, the opponent tonight on the campus of the University of Washington. Hello again, college football on FSN. Brian Davis along with the coach Bob Weiss. Report card time, a half dozen games in. Coaching staff knew that this would be a process. 3 freshmen in the starting lineup. Bob, let's start with them.
Well, the freshmen I give an A to. 3 freshmen starting. They're playing great. Pondexter leading scorer. Hawes is right there. And Oliver breaks into the starting lineup. They're doing great.
With all of this youth, the veterans would have to do some things differently, and they have. What do you give them?
Well, the veteran starters, I give an A also. You know, Denman has showed that he can create when he needs to pull the team out of a slump. And, of course, Brockman has been the anchor for him.
Mixing and matching, this bench has contributed an average of 32 points a game, as high some nights as 62.
Oh, they've done a great job. They've led the team in scoring occasionally. They do all the little things they need to.
Now, you look at the marker of a young team. Can it play consistently? 12 turnovers against Idaho last time out 5 nights ago. That was a sign of progress, but they're not there yet.
No, probably a B-. It's the only thing they don't get an A on is consistency because of the turnovers, and I think they're going to get a handle on that eventually.
At the same time, though, you put it all together, and you can't argue with 6-0, which would suggest to you that this team is playing very well together.
Well, teamwork is an A+, and the reason is nobody is going beyond their bounds. One guy will score one night, the next night he's not trying to be the leading scorer again. He's just playing basketball.
Maybe no better example of that than John Brockman, who has done what he's needed to, but he's let his teammates fit in where they can and will.
Oh, he just plays the game hard. He lets it come to him. He's a leader on the court and off the court.
Now, Brockman averaging a double-double this season. Tonight, he may be needed against a Southern Utah team that a year ago was 1-7 after 8 games, 6-2. This is a team that has beaten Utah.
This is one of the toughest opponents the coaching staff thinks they're going to face so far. And they've got great outside shooting, and they've got pretty good athleticism.
Southern Utah again at 6-2 out of the Mid-Continent Conference. The Huskies have won 23 consecutive non-conference games, 14 in a row in the regular season. Again, they hit the road, but one more at home tonight for the Dogs and the Thunderbirds. Washington and Southern Utah, one of the Huskies' top opponents through the first half-dozen-plus games because of the Thunderbirds' defensive skills. That in the estimation of the University of Washington coaching staff. Bill Evans in his 15th season as the head coach at Southern Utah had this team in the NCAA tournament in 2001, a season in which they went 25-6. His next win will be his 200th at Southern Utah. Offensive rebounding will be an issue for Bill Evans and for Lorenzo Romar in this ball game tonight.
Oh, this has been the biggest difference. There's only been one team that's held a less than 10 defensive rebounding position. Everybody in Iowa only got out-rebounded by 7. Everybody else is in the teens.
The Huskies, in a victory last Wednesday over Idaho, out-rebounded the Vandals 23-4 off the offensive glass, and the Thunderbirds were in Moscow the other night on Saturday night and limited the Vandals to 43 field goal attempts. Watch the point guard, Steve Barnes, led the Mid-Con last year in assists and in three-point shooting. In fact, this team led the NCAA Division I in the 3-ball by percentage. Lorenzo Romar in his 5th year at the University of Washington, in his 10th, counting his time at Pepperdine and St. Louis University in his 10th as head coach. Quincy Pondexter, the leading scorer. Take a look at Justin Dentman, who has led the Huskies in scoring twice, but Bob, maybe more significantly, with the departure of Brandon Roy, he has been their high assist man 4 times.
Listen, he's been handling the ball. He's doing a little bit of everything, just as Roy did. He do a little scoring, a little ball handling. Been rebounding well as a guard, too, for his size. So he's done a lot for this team.
Denton averaging 13 points, 4 assists, and 4 rebounds in a team-high 27 minutes. This sophomore out of Carbondale, Illinois, originally committed to play at Illinois State, which is in the neighborhood of some of those mid-con schools. Southern Utah opened the season with victories at Utah and at Denver, and again defeated Idaho by 22 on Saturday night. Huskies against Idaho last week shot a season low 39%, but they also, because of the offensive rebounding, had 20 more field goal attempts.
Well, they've had like 38 more attempts only because of rebounding this year so far. That's a lot of shots off your offensive board.
45 rebounds a game, 12 of those off the offensive glass. Quincy Pondexter, the team leader, 17 points a game, had 25 points, a team high, and 8 rebounds against Idaho. Spencer Hawes, 3 games at double figure scoring, wound up with 9 rebounds the other night. That was a season high for Hawes, the freshman out of Seattle Prep, against Idaho. And the Huskies off the scramble, hustling the Thunderbirds, and have first touch in this ball game. They'll be close to a sellout crowd tonight at the B of A, and Brockman up over Orlando Grego will get an opportunity early on to get to the free throw line. Brockman should be able to post up the Thunderbirds bigs. If you're looking for improvement in Brockman's game, you'd have to say that it would be at the line, where he is at 54% after shooting 2 out of 3 a season ago.
Yeah, he's got to pick that up, and he will. He's got a nice stroke. That was actually pretty good defense on him. They just caught his elbow as he went up, but made him take a tough shot.
Brockman played a team high 26 minutes against Idaho, had his 3rd double-figure rebounding game for him, a career high 14 off the glass. Here's Barnes. The skip pass inside to Grego. Brad Tanis can't get it to fall. Tanis, the 7'2" junior out of Irvine, California. Rebound Washington. Tanis guarding Hawes at the elbow. Spencer misses, but Hawes is right there. But rather, Brockman travels with the basketball.
Yeah, he took a hop going into it. Great effort getting the ball, but you got to be careful. Don't want to turn it back over.
Bill Evans knew that his guys would have to handle the pressure here tonight.
And the pressure on the ball is one thing, but the wings, just getting your ball to the wings and getting your offense started is the hard part.
Grego shows. Hawes twice leaves his feet. Noureddin.
And that's how you beat pressure. If somebody wants to get in your face, you've got to beat them off the dribble. If you just still try to run your offense, that's when you get in trouble.
Adepoju, a junior out of Nigeria, with the first points of the basketball game, but the Huskies hard and drawing a foul call in the paint.
Quincy showing a little aggressive offense out of his own right there. He took the ball hard, and that's what you got to do if you want to get to the free throw line.
Pondexter, one thing that the coaching staff likes about this freshman out of Fresno, California, is 37 free throw attempts. That is 13 better than the next guy on this team, which is Brockman.
Well, that's because he plays with such aggression. He takes the ball hard, gets offensive rebounds, puts them back up, and that's a lot of times that's when you do get fouls on those offensive putbacks.
Barnes showing a little speed. Rotation to Justin Allen, a distant cousin of the Sonics, Ray Allen. Denton working him over, and he's got some business as Barnes, a cagey little guy. Adepoju again from beyond the arc. The rebound tipped. And Adepoju winds up with it again. Battle in the paint this time. Brockman makes good, takes it away. Now underneath.
You can't be quite aggressive. That aggressive. That's a great way to get the ball. You run right to the hoop, you post up, but you can't move the defender out.
Knocking Canis behind over Tea Kettle here underneath, though. Look at the battle. Brockman winning the fight for the rebound. He's got 3 in a hurry.
And great defense by Hawes. I don't know if he got a hand on that block, but just being there and not fouling is so important. A lot of centers don't have that knack. There you saw the wing pressure.
Oliver all up in Justin Allen's stuff. Allen gets a good look as Oliver is a little slow to rotate. Makes him pay.
And so far, the Thunderbirds are really executing their offense pretty well. Better than anybody I've seen at it. They're breaking down the pressure a little bit, making the entry passes.
Poju picks Haas's pocket, and then Spencer is called for a second quick foul at the other end. So here comes Hans Gasser. These two guys had a little collision in practice yesterday. Gasser had to have some emergency dental surgery. If you saw him this afternoon at shoot around, Bob, you would be amazed that he's actually playing here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, the way you described it to me, he looked rough. We'll see how his stamina is. You know, getting here, feeling like you want to play, having the gumption. But once you run up and down the court a couple times, that's when you'll be able to see if he can last.
The dental work that he required included a root canal and then an emergency procedure to relieve some pressure. Denton stops and pops over Barnes and knocks it down. Denton shooting almost 50% from the floor this season.
And just doing a great job of picking his spots.
Pondexter sends Oliver in transition, but he carried the basketball and another turnover. That is 4 against Washington, counting, of course, offensive fouls.
Well, that's one of the things we talked about in the open about they got to get consistent. They got to handle the ball. They got to get a shot every time down the floor. And that's the one phase that they've probably been the weakest in the of all statistics.
Steve Barnes, homegrown guy, senior out of Cedar City, Utah, had 19 points at Idaho on Saturday night. Grego threw out a Poju, can't hang on to it, going the other way.
And all that pressure on the wing passes and making them rotate the ball, threw them all out of their rhythm. Got a turnover out of it.
Gasser looking for Brockman at the elbow, put too much air under it. A little sloppy in the early going. 5 turns for Washington, 2 for Southern Utah. Thunderbirds basketball.
A little may be an understatement. 5. We haven't played 5 minutes yet.
Ryan Appleby has taken Adrian Oliver's place. Appleby, the junior out of Stanwood, Washington, up along the Puget Sound. Started his collegiate career at the University of Florida. Appleby started a half dozen games with the first 5 last week against Idaho. Good shutdown. Poju is double teamed, and then Denton uses him to retain possession of the basketball when Denton knew he was going to land out of bounds.
I thought Barnes did a good job. He penetrated, he kicked. The shot wasn't there right away. If he rotates it, they would have gotten a good shot. And the trouble with a good defensive team is if you pass up a shot, you may not get another. Washington has taken more free throws than field goal attempts at this point. 2 of 4 on Charity, 1 of 2 from the line. Allen saw that coming and lays it in for a 3-point Southern Utah lead. Traveling call against Grego against Appleby will put the ball back in Washington's hands. Wouldn't you like to be a fly in that huddle with Lorenzo Romar? There's going to be a lot going on there. But way too many turnovers. They've got to correct that. Ball on FSN brought to you by Banner Bank. Better ideas, better banking. Along with Bob Weiss, Brian Davis. Washington has trailed in every game this season, down 3 to Southern Utah after yielding every one of the Thunderbirds' points off a turnover. That's an amazing statistic. Every point off a turnover. They have them down for 6, so I thought we said 5, but I think 2 happened so quickly they may not have got one of them. Well, the 6th was the traveling call on Appleby just before the timeout, and Poju was just called for a foul. No, Pondexter.
challenging. And giving up the basketball is Appleby. Saw it coming and took it away. Spencer Haas on the bench with a couple of quick early fouls. Detman leaves Barnes and then is knocked to the floor by Grego.
Cardinal sin, did not foul a jump shooter. Hit him. His momentum took him into it afterwards. I don't think Coach Evans wants that many fouls on his big men either. He knows he needs them to keep him off the boards.
Grego needs to take a seat. You take a look there. Detman did a nice job of enhancing the moment, making sure that he would get to the free throw line, where that is uncharacteristic for Detman. Has improved his performance at the free throw line, and this year, well, that's only his second miss. 19 of 20 came into this ball game. Splits the difference and gets Washington back within 2.
19-20, that's shooting.
Not bad, huh? That's Luke Ridnour stuff right there. Tate Sorensen replacing Grego. Barnes drives into the paint, trips, and Lorenzo Romar cannot believe it. Barnes hit the deck and appeared to trip of his own volition. Check it out.
Yeah, he had a little help there. Plus, if Brockman falls on your head, you ought to get a foul call just for taking the punishment.
Ouch. Detman is called for the foul. Junior Brajo onto the floor. Misses, but Detman walks. Giving him nothing.
That's one you don't see called very often. It's you know, I think he could have traveled with it. He was a little casual in getting the ball to the floor quickly after he caught it.
Oliver, Brockman, Appleby, Gasser, and Detman. Washington's lineup. Appleby, great defensive energy on Justin Allen, senior out of Los Angeles. Allen working. Looks outside, then takes it inside. Appleby falls into him, and Justin Allen will go to the free throw line. That is the 5th team foul.
I thought Ryan did a very good job defensively, but then right at the end he bailed him out because he was taking a tough shot.
This is a shooting foul, but Washington has put the Thunderbirds very early in the 1-and-1 bonus. Justin Allen, as I say, a distant cousin of the Sonics' Ray Allen. I'm not sure that the branches of the family, well, certainly Justin has never met Ray. I'm not sure that the branches of the family are in any sort of contact. Allen knocks him down, and it's a 4-point Southern Utah lead. Oliver has his shot tipped by Swanee Cooper. Out of bounds to Washington. Cooper did a nice job because Oliver had a lot of room, but Cooper did a great job shutting him down.
Yeah, he did. That I think Oliver's a little surprised he got to that.
Brandon Burmeister onto the floor. Barnes forces him over the timeline, but Burmeister finds Appleby to avoid another turnover, and from Detman, Appleby for 3. If Ryan Appleby gets going,
you don't want him to, as an opposing coach, you don't want him to just catch and be able to shoot. Allen fell asleep a little bit on that one.
First assist of the night, only the second made basket. Underneath, Swanee Cooper, the junior out of Cleveland, Ohio, took a couple of steps, and it is back to Washington's basketball. Cooper's a guy. This team does not rebound a ton, 29 a game by average. In 15 minutes of playing time, he's one of their high board men at 4 a game.
Well, lot of times they play low possession games too, so they're not going to be quite as many rebounds as we're used to seeing with the fast-paced game. And they want to play their own pace. They don't want to get into the quick pace of Washington, but they don't want to slow it down. If they get a good shot, they want to take it.
Like that.
Speaking of good shots, you're right.
Phil Nelson, the freshman out of Kaiser, Oregon, really been struggling with that three-point shot. 3 of 19 coming in tonight, but is 1 for 1, and Washington has its first lead.
I'd love to see him get off and have a good confidence-building game. He's ready to break out. He just needs that one breakout game, and I think he'll be all right.
Burmeister working over Marcus Carson. To be on Allen. Puts it on the floor. Tries to reverse direction. Good help defense from Burmeister. Barnes shows, goes, and everything but the finish, but off the offensive glass. Here comes Swanee Cooper for the basket.
The Huskies a little their own medicine. Offensive rebound.
Detman. Great fake. And a terrific finish off the finger roll.
He's really good at coming down in a semi-open thing and just reading what has to happen. Cassie steps in there, another turnover.
Offensive foul.
Here's Denman right here, nice, just change of pace they call it. Great job. Great footwork. In one dribble, he gets from the three-point line all the way in for a layup.
Suddenly, Washington has the lead and some momentum after turning the ball over 8 times the first 3 minutes and change. The last 3 turns of this ball game have belonged to the Thunderbirds of Southern Utah.
They've got one starter out there.
Gasser rimming. Nelson battling for the rebound with Burmeister, but it is going to go the other direction. Great hustle, and that is another thing. We talk about preseason or rather early season grades and what you give to Washington. Teamwork. Well, teamwork sometimes starts with hustle.
Oh, yes. And it's an attitude. You know, it goes through. It shows the character of your team. It shows the motivation of the coach. All that stuff has to be there. Holy mackerel.
4 consecutive turnovers as Appleby bothers Carson into a carry. 8 minutes into the ball game. Hasn't been the prettiest thing that Lorenzo Romar and his staff wanted to see, but the Huskies are in the lead and gaining some momentum. America Arena in Seattle. We mentioned before tip the bench contributes 32 points a game. Did we mention that they're pretty good at shooting the 3?
I don't know if we did, but we knew it. And here they are. And it's the bench that came in again. They've been there day after day, doing great jobs.
Phil Nelson out of McNary High School in Kaiser, Oregon. Tremendous high school player that, as you mentioned, has been looking to find his rhythm. That stroke was pretty good. Let's see if he's got another. He does.
And that's so smart. That was a set play, folks. Romar set that up in the huddle. That's what you do to build a guy's confidence. He hits one. He came back and diagrammed that play. They ran that. They were looking for him the whole way.
Quincy Pondexter is the only Washington starter on the floor, and they bother Barnes into giving it up, but off the puts it back and knocks down a little 12-footer. Appleby at the other end makes it 4 consecutive Washington three-pointers.
They are on the street. And not only that, the ball went back and forth without a turnover.
Poju along the baseline through the trees. Great effort and a nice rebound by Tate Sorensen.
Sorensen went after that ball.
Appleby drives and scores. Said he wanted to get inside a little bit more.
He's showing his versatility. I don't know if he did that one much last year.
Appleby leads all scorers with 8. Burmeister working over Barnes. Sorensen setting the pick. Barnes way out top for 3, and he scores.
And then he score, and you know, he can hit the 3. Appleby says, "I got to go, folks."
Appleby hasn't missed a shot tonight. 4 out of 4. He's got 10 points, and Washington has a 5-point lead.
But I guarantee you, if he's open next time, he'll take that one.
Now Barnes is a 54% field goal shooter, 47 from 3. Finds his man in the corner, and Carson can't finish. Appleby has scored 7 straight points for the Huskies, but Phil Nelson will interrupt that streak, much to the delight of this crowd.
And Coach Evans has seen enough.
Of the University of Washington. Standing ovation for the Huskies as they take their biggest lead of the night.
It's actually a jumping ovation over the student body.
Southern Utah's first 8 points of the game came off of 6 Washington turnovers. Huskies have been protecting the basketball, and Appleby's finding it pretty good going inside.
You know, you can see his eyes there. He had the poise. He looked at the defender to see what was going on. Then he made his decision. Just finished with a nice flip right over him.
Appleby 38% from the floor. Phil Nelson more than happy to take the leavings of Burmeister's efforts for the flush at the other end. Nelson very impressive in his length, his ability to get off the floor, and Husky fans haven't really seen that yet.
No, he's deceptively athletic.
Between Nelson and Appleby, 18 of Washington's 26 points against Spencer Hawes is on the bench with 2 fouls. Huskies have gone small, but they have found that to their liking. Skip pass for Barnes. Carson. Huskies shutting him down defensively. Southern Utah will use clock. They only average 70 points a game. Getting down to crunch time for Barnes, who puts it up and shoots an air ball.
What great defense that was.
Shot clock violation. Appleby and Nelson, by the way, also 7 out of 7 field goal shooting.
That's not bad.
Bill Evans was worried about whether his guys, we got that clock problem again.
Oh. And the bad news is it's the first half.
At the end of one of the games at the Basketball Travelers Classic, the horn malfunctioned the last 3-4 minutes of the game, and they could not get it to stop. At that point, the thing, I think that was the Nicholls State game, and at that point the issue was well decided, so they just decided to go ahead and play it out. But with 9 minutes on the clock in the first half here, I think you got to get that fixed. Somebody got a hammer?
Well, you know what? You and I are the only ones in the place with headsets, so we at least get it muted a little bit.
Yeah, it's okay with us.
A loud horn. You know, you'd think if they had this before, they'd at least know how to fix it now.
I don't know. It's time early. It's going to be 3 or 4 minutes. Eric Radovich, the public address announcer here at the Bank of America Arena, advises 3 or 4 minutes to do what we don't know. Washington with a 7-point lead. Huskies turned the ball over a ton early. Thunderbirds took advantage of that. Washington then went a little bit smaller, started shooting the ball very, very well. Appleby and Nelson.
You know, after that, the previous timeout, the turnovers were 7 and 8. There were more turnovers than rebounds, and so it'll be interesting to see the next stat sheet to see how that has improved.
I think the clock operator, Tom Long, unplugged everything. That thing happens, especially when you're playing a game that's on television. You think Tom maybe feels like the Maytag repairman, you know? There he is. Wasn't me, I promised. I didn't do anything. I didn't touch it. Yeah, right. All right, so they've disabled the clock.
Yeah.
They'll just let it be. So
we still got the scoreboard on the end, on the sides, but the main clock ahead of us lost a lot of information.
That's okay. We can deal with that.
We can deal with quiet.
with the coach, Bob Weiss. I'm Brian Davis in the Bank of America Arena. And the clock does work. It's just the rest of the scoreboard, and that's just fine. Underneath off the ball, John Brockman back on the floor. He gets tied up. Thought with Tate Sorensen, 23. That is Sorensen, junior out of Talmadge, Utah, who has been suffering from back spasms. And with him out of the lineup, he got back to Idaho, but with him out of the lineup, Bill Evans felt that that team missed a certain amount of toughness. Now look at Swanee Cooper get up on Appleby again. Oliver, long range. Dentman skying for the rebound. Double team looking for the open man. Barnes shuts down Nelson, but he says, well, I'll take this anyway. And Barnes now out hustled for the board by Dentman. Great work by Justin Dentman.
That was great hustle. I thought Phil forced that one a little bit. He had it going. Thought he'd take another one.
Now Allen leaves his feet. Dentman floats an air ball off the play. Barnes is called for the personal foul.
And the Thunderbirds showing they can play a little defense. Blocked the three-pointer.
The Huskies have 10 total rebounds, half those off the offensive glass. Exactly what Bill Evans was worried about.
Yeah, and it's, that's something it's hard to coach against. How do you tell guys to rebound better? You got to be aware of it. You got to block out, but it's still a difficult thing to overcome.
Pondexter, good ball rotation, terrific ball rotation. Barnes interrupts the pass for Pondexter. Now the give and go along the baseline, a little floater. Oliver working, Nelson working. Oliver gets it back and has it knocked away by Canis, but another offensive rebound for Washington. Pondexter is long. Oliver came away with it, but I think Brockman got fouled underneath by Canis. And even Lorenzo Romar standing and applauding. Oh, it's going the other way.
Going the other way. That one was on Brockman.
Take a look here as he got tied up with Canis. The guy underneath said it was Canis, but he was overruled. Time taken. A little less than 8 minutes remaining in the first half of the Bank of America Arena. Washington with a 7-point lead. A little old school here at the Bank of America Arena. Clock malfunction. The scoreboard horn would not shut off, and so they've gone to the old Freon unit.
That'll work. You know, and that since that last time out, no turnovers by either team.
The
last 5 minutes.
The good news is that, well, we'll get back to that. We would invite you to stay tuned after the game. We'll wrap up all the action from the B of A, and then tune in tonight at 10 o'clock. Warren Moon in studio talking Seahawks. Plus, you hear from Mike Holmgren on the win at Denver last night. FSN Live Seahawks Central. 10 o'clock only on FSN. All those offensive rebounds, the Huskies were 0 for 6 in that last sequence. And at the other end, Justin Allen to the rack. Washington a little streaky. Started 1 of 3, then hit 8 out of 9, primarily thanks to Appleby and Nelson, who were 7 out of 7, then 0 for 7 from the floor.
I think they've been pressing a little bit more. Well, I had to open my mouth about turnovers.
Well, you give one, you get one, and Quincy Pondexter says thank you very much off the effort and the feed from Phil Nelson. Nelson is the leading Husky scorer on the floor with 8 points. Staying at this end. Here we go.
There's a steal. There's a re-steal. Assist.
I'd say that first was an unforced error. Pondexter now 1 of 3 from the floor. Haas back on the floor and immediately gets a chance to front the shooter, but Swanee Cooper gets behind him and on the reverse layup scores.
And smart by Cooper because he attacked the guy. Just came in the game. He's got 2 fouls. You either want to get another one on you or he's going to get away from you and not foul you.
Haas puts it on the floor, spins over Canis. Justin Allen. Maybe hoping his distant cousin Ray is watching tonight. Barnes appeared to slip as he turned the corner, but he gets a favorable call, and he's going to go to the free throw line. Adrian Oliver has assessed his first personal foul.
Barnes is very good at just getting just getting in a crack, and then he causes contact, takes it right to your body, and if you're not careful, you end up with a foul. Stockton was very good at that.
Steve Barnes, when he was a kid growing up in Cedar City, Utah, pretended that he was John Stockton, who is now retired to Spokane, his hometown. Stockton, of course, has been a mentor to the Sonics' Luke Rittenauer, so there's a couple degrees of separation for you.
That's well, and you know, if there's anybody you want to emulate, it's him. But he also wanted to be. He liked Maravich's game, which is, you know, I'd rather have a guy at point guard who's going to model himself after Stockton.
Canis can get out to help on the defense. Denton with the little rainbow knocks it down. Washington back to a 5-point lead. Barnes, look at the recovery speed for Denton. Hard fake to the post. Allen, I think he lost control of the basketball. Now he's along the baseline in a double team. Good ball rotation. Grego's a guy who can be feast or famine.
Yeah, Allen, he had 25 points in one game, 4 in the previous one, and then 8 after the 25. So he's an up and down player.
And you take a look at Nuruddin Adepoju, the Nigerian. He has not had a real good night. He's turned the ball over a couple times, shot 1 of 4. This is not his best effort. Now onto the floor from Prague in the Czech Republic. You're watching him work on Detman. It's David Marek. Look at that feed into the post. But again, the left-hander will not fall for Haas, and Brockman is fouled by Adepoju.
The other way around. Brockman knocks him on his.
Oh, there it is.
There he is. He's coming in.
8th team foul. Brockman has 2.
That was a foul, folks.
Now, Southern Utah is going to go with a player off the bench from Brazil. Still in the happy to be here phase. You gotta shoot the free throw before you can make the substitution. And he came loping onto the field, and everybody's going, "Come back, come back!" Junior Brajo replaces the 7-footer Brad Canis. Canis, born in Portland, spent his childhood in Southern California.
You know, in some of the foreign games, you see guys, as long as they're shooting 2 free throws, guys will just walk on. You know, they don't need to be called in.
Well, Ryan Appleby didn't need a whole lot more than what he had there.
Nice take him long to decide he's open, doesn't it?
Well, I'll tell you what, and he just gathered that ball and barely set his feet.
Yeah, he just.
Marek did a nice job to find Justin Allen, and then he is shut down. Great help defense by Washington. Every time you go in the paint, you're going to face a double team. Haas's rebound sets Dentman in motion. Adepoju gets out and denies Appleby that time. Haas inside. This time he tries to right-hand. It works.
Oh, it's a great pass, too, by Dentman.
Haas started out 0 for 3. Makes his first field goal of the night. Justin Dentman has 4 assists.
And we talked about teamwork. This is a guy going up for an easy shot. See somebody with a better one. Bang, gives it up.
Washington is just a hair quicker. Southern Utah just a step too slow to defend. And at moments at least, the Huskies have been streaky, but at moments at least, Washington has made the Thunderbirds pay.
Yeah, they have. And if you're not right on people, especially a guy like Appleby, it's going to go in the hole.
Still now you're down 8, 4.5 minutes remaining in the half. If you're Bill Evans and if you're worried about getting pounded to death on the offensive glass, as they have been tonight, down 8, you still got a shot if your three-point shooters can start getting those shots to drop.
And they really haven't. I thought, you know, Washington has done a great job of shutting down their three-point game.
Southern Utah's only attempted 3 tonight. 1 of 3. Washington is 5 of 11. And here's a guy who is almost 50-50 from beyond the arc in Steve Barnes.
And I think Southern Utah's played into their hands a little bit because there's been penetration. There's been times when they're open. But if the first shooter wasn't open, he dribbled the ball rather than rotated it, because a lot of times it's on that second pass that you get open.
Drive and kick is something that can work for you. Appleby, sweet feet from.
He is feeling it, folks. That was a bad shot. It hit the rim.
Picky. Huskies on an 8-point run.
He's feeling he was off on that one.
Poju misses everything. Out of bounds off of Appleby. Huskies with an 11-point lead, though. Their largest of their night as it gets late first half in Seattle. Justin Dentman with 5 assists here in the first half. Ryan Appleby is at 16 points, 2 away from his career high.
And watch how this Dentman does a good job here. Draws people into him, lets Appleby get his feet set, and if you let him catch it like that, that is a high percentage shot.
4 out of 5 beyond the arc, 6 out of 7 overall for Appleby, who started until last game when Lorenzo Romar inserted Adrian Oliver into the starting lineup, and certainly a great option off the bench. Canis with the flush inside as he was left alone uncharacteristically by the Huskies defense.
Well, Haas had to come over and help on a double team, and there was nobody in position to clamp down on his man.
Poju pops the ball away from Haas, who is looking for Pondexter in front of the Southern Utah bench. Poju is a junior college transfer. How do they find a guy in Daytona Beach, Florida?
Somebody knows somebody.
Canis shuts down Haas, who finds Nelson, who can't find the range. Barnes on the rebound, 2-on-1 break, but then Allen can't handle the basketball, and that is another turnover. 9.5 for Southern Utah. Washington has not turned the ball over here probably since about the 11 or 12-minute mark of the half. Haas.
And an odd stat here is Appleby has doubled the next nearest scorer to him. He's got 16. Next closest guy is 8.
Somebody got away with one there.
They did get away with that one.
Off the bank shot, though, Allen scores. And Justin Allen has 10 points. Spencer Haas has 4 now.
And that's a good way to get the ball into the post. Have your big man run right to the rim. You can't front him. He doesn't know what direction the ball is going to come in from. Good pass.
Nice feed. Barnes for Allen is a little bit long, and Appleby beats him to the rebound. Look at all this here. Spencer Haas will shoot 2 free throws. He's fouled by Swanee Cooper.
Watch this next play. You'll see how on the fast right down the middle. Now it's tough to front him. You don't know where to play him. You got all your shooters all over the place. Great way to get the ball to a big man on a transition.
Haas was a state champion at the 3A level last year at Seattle Prep. Came into the ball game shooting 11 of 17 on charity. We talked about those sharp elbows that left Hans Gasser in need of a little medical attention. Remember, he also whacked Eastern Washington's post player Paul Budarak 10 stitches worth here a couple of weeks ago. There's some people used to say that Bill Cartwright's best attribute were the sharp elbows that he possessed.
Well, you get a 7-footer. If you're a little shorter than he is, and he's got his arms out for positioning, unfortunately, your jaw is right in line.
Everything but the finish from Marcus Carson, and Appleby has another rebound. Doing it all tonight. 3 boards to go along with 16 points. doesn't have an assist, but his teammates have been taking care of that. Pondexter a little off balance. Thought he got fouled. Barnes didn't get anything there. The ball is poked out of bounds by Swanee Cooper. Washington with an 11-point lead and another chance here inside 2 minutes of the first half.
Appleby got another rebound there. He's enjoying this game. He's in it.
First Washington turnover there a minute ago in 8 minutes. Appleby has tied, here in the first half, mind you, has tied his career high for a game. Nice feed, and Allen with the finish.
No time for high fives. When we get back.
Swanee Cooper did a great job of finding him, and Cooper is all the way back on the baseline. Now comes up to help. Burmeister for Nelson, spins off the glass, he scores!
This may be the game for him.
He's got 10, Bob. On 4 of 6 shooting. Abrajo misses. Gasser rebounds. Washington has made a habit of doing this. Denton, little runner won't fall. Abrajo's rebound, and now the double team pressure under the glass. Nelson has tied his early career high with 10 points. He'll be called for a personal foul here. That's his first. Nelson, 10 points, 3 rebounds.
See how Barnes doesn't give you any space. They called the foul before the charge, I think. Did they call it on
Yeah, he whacked him upside the head.
Right.
That would be the technical term.
Well, I'm not up on those real technical terms.
That's 2 on Denton. But most of this team is made up of junior college transfers. Barnes grew up in Cedar City, went to Canyon View High School there, but also went to Snow College. We only have a couple of guys that came straight to the program from high school. Yikes. That's wrong. It's a great way to get your career high, which Appleby has in the first half, but that's just wrong.
Kobe Appleby.
And he just skips back toward the defensive end of the floor, kind of like la-di-da, another day at the office.
Yeah, I think I'm watching Kobe Bryant out there.
About 21 points worth in the first half for Appleby.
And he's playing good too.
And alters to shot. Cooper off the putback.
Here it comes.
Oh, if it's your night.
Well, he's having a great night, but he didn't win the car.
Appleby in the first half shot 8 out of 9 from the floor, 5 out of 6. And, oh yeah, he got 3 rebounds as well. Lorenzo Romar and company go to the locker room with a 12-point lead over Southern Utah. Three consecutive trips to the NCAA tournament. If the Huskies go again this year 4 straight times, that would be unprecedented. They lead Southern Utah by 12 as we get set to start the second half. Brian Davis along with Bob Weiss at the Bank of America Arena. 3-point shooting, Southern Utah, very uncharacteristic. Again, this is a team that likes to shoot the 3 and shoots it well. But the other thing too, Bob, before the game we talked about half dozen games in, report cards for the UW. 32 bench points, that by average on the season. They got almost all of that in the first 20 minutes here.
Yeah, we're changing the bench points for the bench play from an A to a AAA.
There you go. Well, you know, they did in that shootout victory over Nicholls State. Had 62 points of the Huskies' 102. But of course, they've changed the mix a little bit with Adrian Oliver now coming into the ball game right from the top, and Appleby coming off the bench. No matter, it all works out. And you know, the commonality there is that in the Nicholls State game, Washington hit 11 3-pointers. Appleby will start for Oliver in the second half. I guess he's earned that.
He sure has. He sure has.
21 points is already a career high for this junior out of Stanwood.
And the other thing people don't realize is what a good defender he is. He's not a nitty-gritty, beat you up physically kind of guy, but he really knows the team concepts. He's a great rotator. He knows where to be, and he's usually got a hand up when somebody's trying to take a shot.
Exactly. He'll wear you out defensively. Haas and Dittman double teaming Barnes. Grego, he's been shooting the ball so poorly, he's afraid to shoot it, it looks like. Meantime, the shots have been falling for Justin Allen.
Yeah, he can get it going.
I want to check the number in that Nicholls State game. The Huskies set a team record with 17 three-point baskets. Haas loses the handle here, and Tate Sorensen comes away. Allen, 12 points. To lead the Thunderbirds, Haas with another block, his 17th of the season. And Brockman's rebound. Got a 5-on-4 because Sorensen dove, trying to get a foul call, which he might have in the first half. Look at Haas now. All of a sudden, Spencer Haas, the left-handed baby.
I was watching Appleby on the far side. Allen never left him. He was within a foot and a half of Appleby, and Appleby was on the extreme far side of the court.
Oh, look at Pondexter come and help. And Haas cleaned that up.
Coach Romar does a great job with that. He's got these guys really rotating defensively.
Pondexter called for turning the ball over again. And that carry rule has really become a point of emphasis, as I've said before, Bob. They say that every year, but this year appears they mean it.
Yeah, they're getting after that, and the players have not adjusted real well. You're still getting probably 4 to 5 of those calls a game.
Barnes heads inside, then pulls it back out and doesn't get any shooter's love. That was...
Well, he didn't have his feet set. That's why they're not making a big percentage of those. They're not getting good shots.
Now look at Haas. He has made 4 consecutive field goal attempts. Started out 0 for 3, maybe even 0 for 4. Now sitting 4 out of 8 and 10 points for Haas. Detman has 7 assists. Sorensen blocked again.
Because they don't shoot that ball.
Oh, that's a blocking foul.
How can you not see him? He's got that arm up and you shoot it into his elbow. He does a great job of that. Not fouling him when he's trying to block his shot.
Grego is called for his 3rd foul off the restart. Pondexter.
That's a smart basketball play. Pondexter threw that ball up, stepped in very quickly because he knew he was going to be open. Haas saw what he was doing and delivered the package.
If you're not familiar with basketball here at the University of Washington, student section, they won't sit until the other guy scores. And now, Justin Allen says, okay, I'll make sure that I've got you on that. 17 points now for Allen. Haas, though, not to be denied.
Seven did a great job getting into the paint. You make the big man commit. Give it up for an easy layup. The hard part was getting to the paint, and he did it.
It's going to take a whole lot of three-pointers now as the Huskies own a 15-point advantage. Barnes skips it across to Allen, who is a little bit long. Brockman battling without a Peugeot on the rebound, and Brockman will be, will that be Haas? It's assessed his 3rd personal foul, picked up 2 early.
Spencer is a little surprised that the call was on him, but I thought from here it looked like he got him on the arm, so the referee might have seen the same angle.
Their post players tonight, the starters out of Peugeot and Grego. Grego hasn't taken a shot. Huskies heavy into the substitutions here. 3.5 minutes into the second half. Araujo now has 8 points, but post-scoring has been non-existent. Canis only has 2 for them. Sorensen 2. That's not a good sign. Nelson is a little bit short, but Gasser is right there to clean it up and score. Hans Gasser has had moments where that's exactly what he does best.
Coach Romar really changed things up here. He went from a big, beefy team that's going to beat you on the boards and block shots to a small, 3-point, spread you out team. See how it works out here.
Barnes,
big change of pace.
Contested by Gasser. Nelson with the rebound. Denton sees Gasser, comes from the other direction, draws a man to him, and leaves Denton with enough room to drive to the bucket and score. Look at Lorenzo Romar.
And the speed is working out. Evans had to call timeout. He's got to regroup.
Spencer Hawes had it going late in the first half. He has continued early in the second. 12 points on 5 of 9 shooting. Haas takes a seat with his 3rd personal foul, but he was 2 of 6 in the first half from the floor. How about 3 of 3 here in the second half?
Well, they're finding him inside, like right there. There's no way you can double team that. Great block. You know, he's making it look easy, but you can give the ball to a lot of guys in there, and they still have trouble getting it in. He's really smooth around the hoop.
So many ways he can beat you. Passes so well for a big man. Left hand hasn't served him particularly well tonight, but he can kill you with either hand. Look at the back cut now. Huskies close that down, and Oliver will be called for the block on Araujo as the Thunderbirds work the ball around very, very well.
I thought he might have been there. They're doing a great job. Araujo and Barnes, their 2 leading scorers, are 1 for 6 and 1 for 7.
Time taken. Washington with a 7-point lead, 4.5 minutes into the second. Huskies by 17 points. The captain, John Brockman, on a defense that will simply wear the other guy out, and the Thunderbirds of Southern Utah finding that out tonight.
Playing good defense, you know, it seems like the offense can't get into a rhythm. They're stuck with the ball. There's no outlet. We force turnovers. We're up in the lane, kind of up in your face guarding. So it just kind of looks like, it almost looks a little chaotic out there just because just seems like we're everywhere.
is chaotic. He described it very well. You're creating chaos for the other team's offense. Unless they have somebody that can just break you down off the dribble and then draw and kick it there, you're not going to get a very good shot, because if you're trying to run your stuff, they will take you out of it.
And the result of what the Huskies do defensively, a team that shoots 50% from the floor coming in here, Southern Utah, which was 6-2, is shooting 39%. Appleby 8 of 9, Nelson 4 of 7, Gasser 1 of 2, 13 of 18 from the floor, 33 points, more than half of Washington's output. Grego has not taken a shot. Barnes has taken a few, and this time it's going the other direction as Denton does a great job of getting in the way and drawing the offensive foul call on Barnes, which is his second personal.
Poor Barnes, he finally gets to the hoop, and there's Denton waiting for him.
He is 1 out of 7 shooting tonight.
Denton might have got a little break on that. He might have still been moving as Barnes was in the air. But they do that so well. They get there and they get set.
Grego hasn't taken a shot. Barnes 1 out of 7. Poju is 1 out of 6. Oliver with another turnover.
Denton was definitely open. The trouble was he was sitting on the basket stanchion.
Combat pay for our boy Derek. There'll be a little something extra in your paycheck. Knowing Derek, he says, now just leave the 6-pack in the car and we're good. Don't smile. Allen along the baseline is tipped by Oliver, but the official standing right there says got his arm as well.
I hate to see that one called that way, because he blocks this ball, and then on the foul, well, I might have seen it wrong then. I think he got a piece of the ball, but he did hit his arm. Appleby actually got that one from behind too.
The official was right there.
Yep. I saw it twice and missed it, so he did a good job getting it right in the first one.
Brockman back onto the floor, replaces Appleby. Brockman with 7 rebounds, only 1 point. Took 2 free throws off the opening possession of the basketball game. But again, a guy who, when other guys have it going, he's willing to let the game come to him, and 7 rebounds is not bad.
He might get one right here.
There you go.
There's the big man running right to the hoop again. You spread out your 4 shooters. That is tough defensively.
Brockman out of Snohomish, Washington. Oh, tough rub. Grego is called for the offensive foul. Sets the moving screen.
Yeah, he threw his shoulder into him a little bit there.
Yeah, that too. Grego, his last 5 games, he had nothing in Idaho. Scored zilch. His previous 5 games, he was 4 of 10, 1 of 2, 4 of 7, 0 of 6, 5 of 9. Streaky?
Erratic. Which is another word for streaky.
That's 4 fouls on Grego as well, so he'll have a seat. Tate Sorensen replaces him in the lineup. He's battling.
They're going into a little zone here.
Nelson started out hot. Brockman with the tip drill tries to keep it alive. Allen the outlet, and the nice finish by Swanee Cooper, who is 4 out of 4, 8 points. Allen and Cooper really the only Thunderbirds that have a whole lot going here tonight with any consistency. Gasser is tied up. Oliver toes the 3-point line. He's short with it. Barnes rebound, and Gasser over his back.
Appleby may not get to sit over there very long.
Not too
if they're
long.
going to stay in this zone.
Gasser's first personal. Appleby sitting on the bench with a career high. 21 points. Tate Sorensen. They asked the players and the media guy, do you have any famous relatives? And Tate Sorensen says, yes, Philo T. Farnsworth, who was the inventor of the television set. You can thank Tate Sorensen's family.
I will. Did he have anything to do with TiVo?
Probably a little before his time. I think they were back in the days of the tube. Farnsworth actually lived in that area. Where is Southern Utah? Well, right now it's in the pocket of Barnes, who makes only his second field goal of the night, but it is for 3. Makes it a 13-point ball game.
Making a little run here.
Nice find. Pondexter kicks it back out. Detman for 3. Gasser's rebound. Another one off the offensive glass. Sorensen blocks him. Brockman says, "I'll finish that. Thank you very much."
Brockman is always around that hoop.
Tough shot for Allen. Good battle. Sorensen is fouled by Gasser. Hunt's trying to draw the offensive foul to charge. That is 2 in a hurry on the senior out of Issaquah, Washington. Tonight on the BDSSP, it is fight night with Evander Holyfield against some guy you've probably never heard of, and whose name I can't pronounce. It's from the Alamodome in San Antonio, Texas. Really, is that Frezo Quendo? Frezo Quendo, the best sports show, period.
Yeah, Quendo.
Tonight at 11 on FSN.
Good left hook. I can say that because nobody else will know.
Sorensen.
All right, Appleby is in again to try and help break up his zone, and immediately they go out of the zone.
Brockman throws it away. Here comes Barnes. Looking for the trailer. Nelson with the block, so Cooper can't get the shot off. Huskies. Pondexter bothering Barnes. Marcus Carson loses control. Now triple teamed along the baseline. Man, he was in jail. Look at Nelson and Pondexter worrying the Thunderbirds to death, and now we got some floor burns. Barnes will be charged with the foul.
You know, I feel sorry for Barnes. First of all, you got to try and drive around Quincy, and when you get around him, there's Hawes waiting for you.
Look at the emotion on the freshman Nelson's face. 12 minutes, a little less remaining. 13-point Huskies lead over the T-Birds. He and I both pointed at each other.
No, I can't think of anything coming out of this.
All right, I'll talk about where Cedar City, Utah is. Southern Utah, located in Cedar City, a city near the border of Arizona and also Nevada. It's about a 2.5-hour drive to Las Vegas, 3.5 hours to Salt Lake City. Steve Barnes, a native of Cedar City. I understand there's some terrific golf not too far away. Down the hill about 45 minutes was St. George. Brockman looking for a little bit of help. Gets it back to Nelson, but he had Swanee Cooper over his back. 2 fouls on Cooper. Interesting scoring distribution. Appleby 21, Nelson with 10, Spencer Haas with a dozen.
You think Appleby's name came up at halftime? He hasn't gotten a shot off of this half. They are staying right with him.
Nelson got blocked on his way to the rack as they drew up another play for him, Bob. Yeah, a little tougher, but that's okay. 21 points, that's pretty good night's work in 20 minutes. Oh, there's Justin Allen.
He'll get a couple more looks.
Has his pocket pick. Brockman saves it.
Holy mackerel.
Well,
he shot that one from the W.
Well, if they shut you down any closer to the basket, you might as well see what you can do from there.
Yeah, I think he's got an earpiece in. I think he's listening to us. You know, we're talking about, hey, you guy can't get a shot off. He said, see if they guard me out here.
And off the inbounds pass. Well, here we go.
Here it comes. Half court, heels on the W, bang. Folks, that is about a 26, 27-footer.
Off the inbounds pass, Barnes committed his 4th foul. Say 6. The team record, Appleby walked. The team record is 7. Hey, you think he'd have shot that? Maybe he just wants to keep him honest.
That was too close.
Pondexter bothered
25 feet.
That'd be good in the Intergalactic League. Barrett finds Cooper, puts it on the floor. Nice finish as Haas comes to help, and Swanee Cooper, the kid from Cleveland, Ohio, playing like LeBron James down there. Haas can't finish. Nelson cleans it up. Alley-oop. Can't quite get it there.
Well, on that last drive, you know, he was smart. You have Haas in there waiting for you. He went underneath the basket, and you kind of use the rim to help you. The shot blocker can't come through that net, can't come through the rim to get at the ball.
Marek. That's an NBA 3 for the Czech. Southern Utah is beginning to get a little bit sloppy in the paint. Marcus Carson. 17 fouls, so Pondexter will get a couple chances on Sheridan.
They're trying to get back in this game. It's an 11-point game.
Pondexter, half dozen points. Starters have been able to ride the bench a little bit tonight. Brandon Burmeister, the senior from Mercer Island, is onto the floor. Pondexter splits the difference. Cooper bats it ahead to Marek, the sophomore from Prague in the Czech Republic. It's one of those prep schools up in the Northeast, which is how Bill Evans and his staff found him. Haas runs at Cooper, but Cooper gets it up high, knocks down the teardrop shot, and all of a sudden it's a 10-point game. Haas looking too intently inside on a Pose who picks his pocket.
Yeah, he's gotten attacked from the weak side twice now, where he's going to get ready to make a dribble. You really got to look for these little guys before you make a move.
Along the baseline, left-handed finish for Carson. Only his second basket of the night, but the lead is back to single digits. Pondexter is popped by Sorensen.
Spencer's a little tentative on both those last defenses. I think maybe he's worried a little bit about foul trouble. Got there just a hair late.
Thunderbirds have outscored the Huskies 7-1 this last little while. Everybody's set, now we go. And a Burmeister. Skip pass to Pondexter. Detman to Hawes. And the finish. Man, I don't know how Detman completed that pass because Marcus Carson had a hand on the basketball.
There were hands all over the place. And you know, just to squirm in there, split the seam and get in.
Dozen points now for Haas. Look at Adepoju has it swatted away by Gasser with 13 seconds to shoot. Heard from John Brockman about
good
that
defense.
drive you crazy defense. That's right, Coach.
I mean, he had to move his feet about 3 times.
He's just trying to reset his position, that's all.
Well, he did.
Oh, Merritt gets a lucky bounce. Adepoju with 1 second on the shot clock and nobody in black around the rim for the rebound. Hawes posting up Sorensen, and he'll go to the free throw line with a chance to make it a 3-point play.
Sorensen's a real battler, but he just outmanned there physically. When a guy like Hawes or Brockman get him on their back.
Hawes 4 of 6 here in the half, 8 of his 14 points since intermission. Offensive rebound. Pondexter nearly got a lucky roll and then commits the foul as Swanee Cooper tries to find a man coming away. 16 fouls now against the Huskies. Washington will apply pressure again. Justin Allen had a bunch of points before intermission. He has been limited here in the second half. Detman all the way to the rack. Detman has...
He hurt a finger or an elbow or something on that play. I can't figure out what he did.
So he'll shake it off. He knows he's got a double-double. 11 points, 10 assists. Marek raises the rim. Sorensen just gets inside. You see the look of frustration on Haas's face, knowing he didn't finish the job. Sorensen now with 6 points. Pondexter, little contact, Big Ten rules. No harm, no foul.
What happened in the street, there'd be a lineup.
Grego passes up the shot again for Adepoju for 3. And it's a 9-point basketball game, back to single digits. Washington's lead. Now, one thing, Sorensen going to clean that up. Southern Utah here in this stretch has been controlling the tempo of the basketball game.
Oh, they're doing a great job.
Allen puts it on the floor, can't finish. Adepoju's rebound. Travels with the basketball.
He's frustrated. He hasn't been able to get a clean shot all night. That time he tried to force it, get an offensive rebound, kick it out to somebody for a nice open 3.
Spencer Hawes has tied his career high with 16 points. Detman has a career high 10 assists. And, oh yeah, he scored a little bit too. A 9-point Washington lead. They were pushing 20, but Southern Utah controlling the tempo. Now, Justin Detman on this play earned himself a double-double, but also earned himself admission to the House of Pain.
Yeah, I couldn't see. He kind of cut his foot when he landed wrong there, and right here, I can't tell if he pulled a stomach. Yep, there it is. He got injured right below the 5. He got pulled a little stomach muscle right there, and must have just been a cramp because he's. That was a bad pull or something. He'd be out, but he adjusted quickly, so it might have just been a cramp.
Haas posting up Canis, the 7'2" defender, scoops it down inside of him with the left hand. Haas now 8 of 13, a career high 18 points for the freshman.
And Sorensen saying, oh, I feel better now. He scores on a 7-footer too. 7-2.
And another good play out of a timeout.
Yes. Yeah. Good spacing. Had shooters all over the place. They really couldn't double. Plus, they're playing him with a 7-2 guy. They think he can play him by himself. Haas is too smooth for that.
Canis underneath. He better get going. Just did get the shot off, but Pondexter and Brockman make sure one and done. Remains the story for Southern Utah. Huskies with 29 rebounds, make it 30 now. 25 for Southern Utah. Canis 7'2". Here's Dentman finding Haas off the restart.
And all these plays are crucial to the Thunderbirds right now. You can't be putting them on the line. You're trying to catch up with a team. You got to play defense and get stops without fouling. You start parading to the line, it's really difficult to catch up. You got a chance with a one-on-one that the guy could miss him. Missed the first one, you get away with no points, but didn't work out here for him.
Haas 8 of 13 from the floor. 3 of 5 on Charity as they battle for it. They got a lane violation. Spencer will get a chance to make that 4 out of 5.
That's what happens when you're worried about keeping Brockman off the line. You get in there too soon.
Well, he almost got it. Pondexter off the offensive glass. Washington 31 of 54 overall. Southern Utah 23 of 54. So 8 more made field goals, 3 more three-pointers. Southern Utah's 15 of 16 from the free throw line. Washington 8 of 12, and Barnes playing the whirling dervish inside there.
That was persistence. He drove baseline, got cut off, double teamed. He went back out, came around again.
There's the alley-oop and the finish this time for Brockman.
See, the alley-oop was supposed to be covered by Haas's man, but he was so worried about what Haas was going to do that, you know, he left him alone. Canis was supposed to rotate to that, but when you're guarding a guy that's scoring like Haas is, you don't want to leave him.
Brockman is in double figures rebounding. Allen has to give it up. Around the cylinder, Canis is blocked by Brockman on the putback. Got his back. Pondexter will shoot another pair. Great distribution on the score sheet. 10 rebounds. Oh, he had a block or 2 for John Brockman.
Brockman doesn't know that guy's 7'2".
College basketball on FSN is brought to you by Sterling Savings, the perfect fit bank, with the coach Bob Weiss, Brian Davis. Washington has regained control after letting the Thunderbirds back within 9 points. Might even have been 8. They closed, then Washington got to work. Ryan Appleby, a career high 24 points, 21 of those in the first half. He has 6 three-pointers. Spencer Haas also sitting on another career high.
And I like the way that the team has carried out Coach Romar's game plan. The 2 leading scorers, Barnes and I got in trouble with that one. But 2 leading scorers are, glad you said that, 2 for 9 and 3 for 9. And on top of that, they've cut down on the 3-point attempts all night.
Washington is shooting 65%, 15 of 23 here in the second half, and has outscored Southern Utah 8-2 in the last 2 minutes. Bullet pass. Swanee Cooper wasn't ready for it, but it caroms off of Brockman. 18 to shoot for the Thunderbirds. Washington in position as it gets ready to head to Gonzaga on Saturday to run its non-conference winning streak to 24 games. Grego finally takes a shot, misses. You just look at him and he has absolutely no confidence.
No. When you don't get shots on a consistent basis, all of a sudden when you do get one, it's hard to nail it.
Well, we mentioned the 23-game winning streak. The last non-conference game that the Huskies lost in the regular season, as you saw, to Gonzaga. Fall away for Cooper.
Tough shot by Cooper.
He's had a good night now. 14 points on 7 of 8 shooting, 5 rebounds. Justin Allen, number 24. They wanted Appleby to take that 3. Look at Brockman lose Sorensen and earn a trip to the free throw line. One thing, though, that the Huskies have done, well, take a look at there. You see Allen leaping.
Spin move. You know, you feel that body against you. He's pushing on you. When you spin on him like that, all of a sudden it's like pulling a chair out from somebody. Your motion is going forward, and that guy is spinning baseline on you. Sorensen's had a long night. He's either had a guard Hawes or Brockman.
And Brockman at intermission had not taken a free throw, or had not taken a field goal.
Yeah, well, it's like you said earlier. He lets the game come to him. He's going to take it. If you're going to give him shots, he'll take them. If he doesn't, he's not going to force them.
Barnes playing with 4 fouls. Sorensen also playing with 4. Blocked by Hawes. To Pondexter. Up and under Grego. You can give Appleby an assist now to go along with his 24 points and 4 rebounds on the night. And Washington in control of this basketball game, up 15 with 2 minutes remaining. Huskies will go to 7-0 pending Saturday's meeting at Gonzaga. Southern Utah, which again finished 10-20 last year, will fall to 6-3.
Yeah, you're in the game with 5 minutes to go, and all of a sudden, with 2 minutes to go, you're down 15.
Brockman, oh, that's almost not fair. Must have got him with the hip before he slapped the basketball from behind. And Cooper will shoot 2. Washington tonight has shot 59% from the floor. Ali oop, and what great body control.
And a great pass. Pondexter's great at running out. Appleby puts it right on the money.
Well, teamwork, we rated an A+ through the first half dozen games. Consistency was a B-, and I would say that remains an issue.
Yeah, they're going to have to cut down on the turnovers, because as they start playing, you know, teams with more talent and size, that the rebounding effort isn't always going to be as productive as it has been in the first part of the season.
Appleby looking for the school record, doesn't get it. What do you bet they're going to try to find him a time or 2 more? Barnes, Dentman, 3-on-1. Well, let's say you give that to Hawes.
He may have to take Dentman out. He's got that injury. I think what's happening is he's cramping up. He's got a cramp up in his thigh now.
Don't like to see that.
No.
Your point guard. He peeled off. Yeah, I think. Yeah,
he just ran out of salt. he needs some minerals in his body, because there's nothing you can do when you get this.
I suppose if he's got some feeling in it, that's a good thing, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. It's nothing that's you know. He'll be fine later, but those are just painful when they come.
Sophomore sitting on a stick man double-double.
And you can get those. I mean, you get your whole body starts to cramp up sometimes.
Now
He needs help.
they're looking for, yeah.
There's teamwork.
Gasser and Brockman. They don't want to mess up the trainer's suit.
Yeah, they need to get some fluids in him. He'll be fine.
Into the final minute of a basketball game.
Hope my diagnosis is correct. This is wishful thinking. I'm just diagnosing by, hey, best thing to have is a cramp. It'll be over.
We'll find out. Now, Justin Allen had a dozen points at halftime. He's 2 of 6 since intermission. Well, they're laughing. So
Yeah, trainers laughing.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
They don't usually laugh at a compound fracture. So
58% is a season high for the Huskies from the floor. 8 3-pointers out of 19. 6 of those belong to Appleby. FSN's the only place to get Sonics All Access. This week, we asked Lenny Wilkins, the Hall of Famer, about his new. Talks about hiring HOK to design the new arena here in the Puget Sound. And we are with the dance team as they visit Seattle's oldest continuously running fire station. Sonics All Access tonight at 9:30 only on FSN.
the dancers are going to the fire station?
Oh, they were there.
There's going to be some happy firemen there. I hope the bell doesn't ring. None of them are going to want to leave that firehouse.
They were actually shooting a commercial, and I'm not sure if I would wind up on double secret probation if I told what they were shooting for, so I'm going to leave that alone. It's a commercial campaign, though, that you'll see before too awful long. And Appleby, in his desire to help a teammate, wound up traveling with the basketball. One more inbounds pass. I think we call this one good. Career highs tonight. Ryan Appleby, 24 points. Spencer Haas, 21 points. Nelson, 10 points. Denton had 11 assists. John Brockman came within a couple of his career high rebounding. He's got a dozen to go along with 7 points.
Okay, the only question is, will Appleby take the shot if he's in?
That would tie the school record. 7 is the single game school record.
I don't think they're going to take a shot.
You know what? I mean, that's in the end.
That's class right there.
Exactly.
We're not going to rub it in.
Put this one in the books. First ever meeting with the team from the Mid-Continent Conference. Huskies come away. They have now won 15 straight games in the regular season, 24 against non-conference opponents. And on Saturday night in Spokane, we'll play the team that last beat the Huskies in non-conference play, Gonzaga. Denton needs help off the floor. Ryan Appleby tonight with 6 3-pointers, and we'll be talking to him momentarily here in the perch at the Bank of America Arena. But your final again, Washington by 15 at 87-72.